Good Erev Shabbos Cholamoid and getting ready for Hashan Rabbah, Simchat Torah, the second days of Sukkos, and finishing off the month of Tishrei. We know the famous Memorim, Chasidic discourses on Sukkos, Shafta Mayim B'Sasain, that we take water, we draw water. The idea is that our water has no flavor, unlike wine that is flavorful, and we draw the water, which is our bittul, our connection to Hashem beyond reason, but we do it with simcha. And this connects with an amazing idea that Rebbe learned in Simchat today that I have to share. On Simchas Torah Tavshin Yud Gimel, the end of 1952, the Rebbe spoke about that the question about simcha. The Rebbe said that simcha on Simchas Torah has to be like everything about Tishrei. The month of Tishrei is a general month. It means everything that we do in Tishrei affects the entire year. And not just affects the entire year, but also penetrates, gets through to us, to the core of who we are. Doesn't affect the parts of us. Our Kabbalah soul, for instance, that we accept Hashem's yoke, is not just for certain individual challenges we may have, getting up, going to shul, putting on tefillin, keeping Shabbos, not being jealous, not being angry, certain challenges that we have that the individual challenge requires us to accept Hashem's yoke and to have Kabbalah soul. In Rosh Hashanah, the Kabbalah soul is about not the details, it's about we're accepting Hashem as King. And so too in Yom Kippur, it's a tshuva that's beyond the details. We're returning, we're coming close to Hashem, we're becoming pure. Ifnei Hashem Titaru, the 4 days between Sukkos and Yom Kippur, the 4 letters of Hashem's name. So Simcha of Sukkos, the sitting in the Sukkah, the four minim, the taking the energy of Rosh Hashanah and Kippur and bringing it close to us. So these are all general ideas that have to affect us throughout the year. And so same thing, Simcha. Simcha is not just a Simcha that has to do with the moment, because if it's in the moment, then as soon as we leave the moment, we won't be happy anymore. Especially when we live in the month of Tishrei, we kind of get out of our, we put aside all our anxieties and worries and say, right now I just want to, pay attention to Yom Tov. But when the holiday's over, that's why we say Yaakov halach darka. Yaakov goes on his way. Yaakov becomes scared, so to say, because now you have to go back to the world and chase and face the individual challenges that we have. So, and we have to encourage Yaakov with that fear, to deal with that fear. So, if we have simcha now, and it's just a simcha for the moment, what's going to happen when we face challenges and situations that are not happy? And the Rebbe says, therefore, in order to have true simcha that's going to be beyond any kind of details within ourselves, not based on our mind or emotions, because when it's based on our mind creates reasons to be happy. So the happiness is all dependent on the reason. If the reason is no longer there, or if the reason is not a good enough reason, you find reasons not to be happy. So it's not going to you're not going to always be happy. And therefore, we have to be happy beyond any reason. And what's the idea of being happy beyond reason? What does that mean? Rebbe introduces an incredible idea that when we're happy because Hashem told us to be happy. It's called happy of Kabbalah soul. Just like any mitzvah, when we do a mitzvah, we do the mitzvah because Hashem told us to do the mitzvah. And when we perform a mitzvah, whatever the mitzvah is, the word mitzvah is from the word safsa v'chibur, to connect Hashem. When we perform a mitzvah, we do what Hashem wants us to do, we're connecting to Hashem. When the basis, the reason for our being happy is not because there's a reason why we're happy, but because Hashem told us to be happy, and Hashem told us to be happy, so therefore we're going to be happy. And it doesn't have to make sense, and there could be a lot of reasons maybe we feel we shouldn't be happy. But Hashem told us to be happy, and we're going to do a Kabbalah soul, we're going to accept Hashem's mitzvah and be happy anyways. And when that's the reasoning and the foundation of our happiness, and we do it and we experience it in the month of Tishrei, when those moments of Tishrei, especially Shmini Atzeres, takes us through the entire year. So when we later throughout the year, if God forbid we face situations, individual situations or general situations, that our happiness becomes in doubt and becomes a challenge to be happy, the reasons are not there to be happy. We tap back into that energy of Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah and we say, listen, I'm going to be happy because Hashem told me to be happy. And when we do that, we know the power of Simcha. The power of Simcha is Paris Ged, it breaks all boundaries, breaks all limitations. And even more than that, when we have no reason to be happy, our happiness is because we're happy with Hashem. Yismach Yisrael ba'osav. Yisrael, Jews are happy with their Creator. And it's Yismach Avayi b'masav. God is happy with His creation. And He's happy not for any reason. He's happy because He loves us and we love Him. And therefore it breaks all boundaries. And maybe there are reasons that God shouldn't be happy with us. But He doesn't pay attention to them because He's happy because we're His children. And so I think it's an amazing idea that the coming this Simchas Torah and Shmini Atzeres, the 48 hours that the Frierdiker Rebbe says are so valuable, like as valuable as the 48 hours of Rosh Hashanah. And we dance with our feet, we don't dance with our minds. We don't say a dvar. It's not about saying a pilpul. It's about dancing and being happy, that we should actually tap into that unlimited energy of we're happy because Hashem told us to be happy. And make that the basis and only reason why you're happy, and have that as the experience of Simchas Torah. And when we do that, hopefully, we're going to face that. If God forbid we face any situation throughout the year, and for whatever reason we have a situation where there's reasons not to be happy, God forbid, but we've already drawn on the energy, already shaftemayim, we're drawing the waters besasen with joy, and that's that we take, and we say we're going to be happy, the unconditional happiness. And I want to bless everyone with a beautiful Simchas Torah and Shmini Atzeres Shana Rabbah Shabbos Chol Hamoed, and we'll be merit, like the Rebbe says in 1983, at the end of 83, Tav Shemem Dal, Shana Rabbah. We should have all the reasons that maybe we think, why is Mashiach not here? But we're going to experience it actually this year, that Shana Rabbah Mashiach is here. We'll be happy for all reasons to be happy. And maybe we zeichen to the coming Mashiach, B'Karv Mamash Shabbos Yom Tov.